Hi there. Welcome back to another episode of Why You Worried About It. We are on a journey towards a better you. I'm Lindsay Bush. I'm the HR director for Country Crossroads.
And hey, everybody, I'm Susie Arbo. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and we are on this journey with you. We are always trying to find good information that is relevant to people's lives that can help them in any way. And so we've had so much fun with this podcast. We've got to do some cool interviews and learn a lot as we go.
Yep, lots of great topics. We love hearing from everybody. So if you've listened to us, please let us know what you've liked, what you don't like. If there's anything that comes to mind that you want to hear about, let us know. We want to know about it. And we're so excited today. We have a friend with us. We love guests.
That's right. So Katie, do you want to introduce yourself and kind of tell the listeners a little bit about you?
Yeah, I'm Katie Becker. I'm a counselor with Country Crossroads. I've been with Susie and the company for almost 8 years now. I mostly work out of our Pleasant Hill office. I'm the location leader there. I also go into the Pleasant Hill schools one day a week and see students there through our school-based program. And recently we started a program, My Company Cares, and then that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, we sure are. We kind of know just because we work in the mental health field and we're kind of in the trenches that over the last, a couple years, even since the pandemic, we've seen just a huge uptick in people just needing help. And it used to be kind of the old school thought was leave your problems at the door. When somebody comes to their job or their work, they, kind of suck it up and just do your job and then go home. But we know people are human. And Katie kind of saw a huge kind of need for that we're kind of in dire need as far as getting people in the workforce mental health help. So Katie, you've done such cool things with this program. Do you kind of want to explain a little bit about what the program is and how it works?
Yes, for sure. Sorry, my dog's barking a little bit because who knows why. But anyway, so yeah. So I had, even in my own past, had worked places that had EAP programs, so employee assistance, and that typically offers the employees a certain amount of counseling sessions. Although when we kind of started talking to some friends and family that had tried to use their programs, there wasn't a lot of places that would accept it, or just all of the red tape kind of made it really difficult for them to get use out of that. So then as we started researching, we realized that less than 9% of employees nationwide use that. And so now companies are paying for something that they're not using. People aren't getting the help as it's intended for. So we kind of put our heads together and brainstormed, how could we make this work? How could we actually get help to employees and businesses to show that mental health does matter? And how can we actually get them in? And so through talking with Susie and Merle and just other people in our company and other businesses, we kind of came up with our own little, we call it our a la carte idea, where we kind of go out to companies and just say, are you utilizing this program that you do have? If so, what do you see that works well with it? And if not, what could we offer that would improve that? So really we allow the companies to kind of make it their own. How many sessions would you want your employees to have? And then they only pay for employees that utilize that. So we have some that give 3 sessions, 4 sessions, 6 sessions, some are unlimited. So that's really amazing. And so and when they sign on with us, we offer them a discounted rate for therapy, as it can be pretty expensive. So we kind of go out and just see what they're looking for. And then we try to give them direct access to our therapists so they don't have to get on the waiting list and things like that. And they get in really quickly. And the goal, I guess, for me is once they get in, and say the only company pays for 4, which is amazing. We hope that they love it so much and build that relationship with their therapist that then they see the need and how well it works. And then they continue that on their own.
Yeah. Yep. And we've already seen, I just feel like so much good come out of it. People are instantly connected with therapy. A lot of places have like a wait list, so we're able to get them in really quickly and get them seen and get them feeling better, because no matter where you are location wise in the world, if people aren't feeling good, I feel like at work, and they're feeling like mentally drained or just mental health worries or conditions or whatever's going on, they're not going to perform as well at work.
Right.
And then like you were kind of saying, there's so much steps that go into like EAP and Lindsay, you were talking earlier just that
It's a total bottleneck. So some of my background in HR was at a hospital, and we worked with a lot of people. And people, when they're in a crisis mode, or when you're finally ready to pull the trigger and say, "Hey, I really need help," whenever you have X, Y, Z, or all these steps you got to go through, it also feels like another barrier, another thing that's just weighing on you. And it's like sometimes you just don't have the energy or the wherewithal to like fight through and do all the things you need to do. And so that's why EAPs I think are amazing. And I think in the time that they really focused on making them, it was such a good thing to add mental health and add all these things to more than just dental and medical insurance, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a wonderful thing. But I think as time has grown and as we're learning all these things about mental health and stuff now, I think it does need to evolve a little bit more. EAPs are a lot of red tape, and a lot of people kind of get stuck at that very first call when they have to call, and then they feel crazy because they don't know what they're doing. They'll stop right there, and they
Yeah.
don't want to move any farther of trying to get the help. So that's what I really like. I love when we're promoting this program is we just want to make it easier on the people. We want to make sure that people know that we see you right now in the moment you're in. We don't want to make it harder for you to get help. We want to get you help, and then we can figure out all those other things. I love that, we're still making it personal and one-on-one. And I think that's important. I think people need to know they're not just a number. Oh, hey, you're having problems here. Here's a phone number, go call them and they'll help you figure it out. Like that's hard. We want to be a presence and know that companies and the leaders care about their people's mental health. So I know I'm super proud of it. I love what Katie's done and Susie and everybody helped build this program. So it's super cool to talk about and share. So I think you're awesome, Katie, doing what you do.
Well, thanks. No, I agree though, because it was a friend specifically, and she worked for a school district, and she was trying to get her daughter in for school-based therapy. And that's kind of where this initial idea came, because she had an EAP. And then I introduced her to our school-based therapy program, right? So then I'm like putting that little blurb out there. And then also I was like, man, that stinks. Like, why is that so hard? And then that even as a mom, she felt so helpless to get her daughter in. And then everywhere she called had a waiting list. So anyways, it just kind of all came together. And then, the employees that their company send this out, they're like, okay, wow, like this is really cool. They care about me. Like this is a great place to work. They're putting me first. Like, and then that employee is going to give more effort in the long run than they maybe would have been, not intentionally, but because they feel better and they're in a better place and they feel supported. So far we've had a lot of good things that have come out of it. And the companies so far that we work for are just like gung ho. They are so excited to offer this out and roll it out to their employees. And it's really taken off for the ones that have signed up with us.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like if people are listening and they are working for a company, or maybe you're a leader in a company or a manager role, or maybe you own a company and you have employees, this is just kind of like I guess informational too for anybody to know that when you value somebody's mental health and you're able to connect them with support and resources, that people will feel better, and it will just benefit everybody. They'll feel better when they go home at night. They'll feel better when they're working. And so it's just a really win-win thing. And we can't ignore personal problems anymore. Every single person has their own stuff. It just looks different. Lindsay has her own stuff. I have my own stuff. Katie, you've got yours, and it just looks different, and so when we can support people wherever they're at, it's just a huge deal. So we always kind of like to give people like a call to action too, just like what could people do at home, no matter if they're in the state of Missouri, they can contact Country Crossroads Counseling and ask for Katie Becker and be connected with our program or whatever, anywhere in the state, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that compact law is coming out here in July of 2025, which we're super excited, which means that we can offer counseling across state borders with the states that are already a part of it. And so we're kind of excited for that to see where this goes too. But wherever you're at, there's things that you can do. And even just if you're an employee, ask your employer, say, hey, what do we have in place for mental health for me, for my family, and be an advocate for it, because everybody needs it. Like it's a good, positive thing.
Yes. And I would encourage too, I go to the manager side of it and thinking like, you want to provide all the help you can for people, and that we're learning. And Susie's great about helping us leaders in our company to still learn how do we take care of the person as a whole. And if you feel like you work somewhere, maybe it's a big company and you feel like you are a number and no, they don't care, it's still, you have power. you have so much power in how you control how you deal with it, or what you're doing. If you're guiding and leading other people, you can be that voice and keep pushing for mental health. And there's more than just the EAP programs. Maybe you have that. Maybe it's finding out more information on how to use your EAP, or hire in presenters, come in and talk to your company. That's a wonderful thing. I know Susie does that here, but it's all over. You could be anywhere in the world, and there's help out there. We talk about it all the time, workbooks and things you can do. Don't feel like that, if you don't think you have exactly what you need at your fingertips, that it's not, or maybe your company doesn't care. It's still up to you to take care of your own mental health. So we just definitely push you to, if you feel a certain type of way, get out there and find what you need, or help build it in your company. Maybe that's what they need. They need somebody to, have that passion and that vision, and really step forth with it. So
Yeah, I love that. And like fighting against the stigma of talking about mental health. Can I talk to my leader? So if you are a leader, making yourself open and people feel safe to come and talk to you and ask questions. But like Lindsay, like you said, taking the reins and taking care of your own mental health is super important. And maybe you could be that one person that starts to talk about it, and then helping other people that you don't even know that you're going to help. So just asking that first question.
Absolutely. And Katie, you just kind of touched on that psychological safety piece, and all the research is pointing to right now, when somebody feels psychologically safe in their place of work, that they can come and they can talk to their manager, their boss, their leader, whatever verbiage you use in your company, that they will stay long term, even over the money, because they feel like they're being heard. And for them to be able to come to you, if you are a leader, with even the hard stuff, the bad stuff, like, hey, this thing isn't going well at work, or whatnot. And we create that psychological safety. We make people feel safe, because we never want to be working in a place where, you can't feel like you can be yourself or share what's going well or what's going wrong, and or how you're doing emotionally. So that's huge. That's huge. Some other things that people can do around your company, is even just like, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Right. So, doing some things to promote that, as far as hanging signs around, posting on social media. There's all sorts of like suicide prevention, like even like walks and runs and mental health awareness kinds of events going on in May. Or even like Lindsay said, like, starting something, get something going. So that's a good month, and it's right around the corner. Just start kind of having these conversations. And we're in a rural area where it kind of used to be kind of hush hush, but we're working hard to end the stigma, having partnerships with different companies that also believe in it. So it's pretty cool. So Katie, if you want to share, just one more time about the program, the name of it, and how people can kind of get connected.
Yeah, so it's called My Company Cares. And you can go to our website, Country Crossroads Counseling, and it's one of the little drop down menus. It has my contact information. If you want to share this with your boss or your leaders, or you are a leader or an owner or a manager of any kind of business company. I mean, we work with banks, we work with electrical companies. There's no rule on what type of company it is or how many employees that you have. And that's kind of how we get it started, is typically an email that's like, hey, what is this? Can you send me some information? And then let's have a conversation. I can send you a little flyer and things like that. But until we start, digging in and asking questions and seeing what your company actually needs that works for you. And that's my favorite part of it. It isn't like, this is the way it is, sign in or not, or choose us or not. It's completely like, we've had conversations, and we don't have one contract that's the same with any of the companies or businesses that we work with. And I think that's what's really cool, is that they can kind of make it their own. And that's what happens when we start to have those conversations. And then we tie it into, and we mentioned this maybe, is that when you sign on with My Company Cares, Susie also offers some speaking highlights and engagements, potentially at a discounted rate for that too. And so then you're not only offering sessions and therapy for your clients, you're also offering them right now. Like, what can Susie offer everybody at the same time, or different groups, for them, and then maybe that would be the thing that would push them to take up the counseling sessions and things like that. So yeah, step one is just go to the website, and my name and number and emails on there.
I think personal and professional development, from what I've seen, is really like taken, and I think it goes kind of hand in hand with mental health and the awareness that we're kind of bringing. Because I hear a lot more companies talking about what they're doing for professional development or personal and professional development. So I think that that's really important too. Tie this stuff into it, guys. I mean, it's don't feel crazy to be the first one to talk about it or to bring up mental health or to do the little silly things that make somebody smile, or if they think you're crazy, it's okay. Like, I guarantee even if they think your little note card that has something positive on it makes them roll their eyes in front of you, they're going to think about it again later and probably again later. And it's planting those little seeds. You're not going to see it immediately, but don't be afraid to like take that first step, especially if it's heavy on your heart. If you're already here and you're already listening to this, we love you and we appreciate that, but don't be afraid to take the next step, take it to the next level.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Be the one, be the first one.
Yep. Yep. Well, Katie, we just want to thank you for coming on here and sharing what you're doing. Can we see your little dog?
Let's see what's going on. Who is this? Oh
This
my
is
gosh.
Lucy. She just got back from the groomer, and they kind of
What perfect timing.
A little
Her debut
mohawk.
on a podcast, and she just got freshly.
She's famous.
She's better than us.
Yeah, I know. And then
Morning over
Vincent's
here.
in there. He's the one snoring on the floor. So, yeah.
So
Yes.
sweet.
And we always talk about on the show how animals are so therapeutic too, that we love them so much. So, okay, well, we're gonna kind of wrap up and yeah, everybody's got a call to action. Go talk to your companies.
Be the one.
Get the word out.
Be the one. Thanks so much for listening to us today.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook. It's where all of our events and all the fun stuff we do is out there. We host stuff all the time. We're all about getting mental health out to the masses. That's why we're here talking to you guys today. Again, please let us know. Do you want to hear about anything? Do you want somebody special on the show with us? You think we could just have some good banter with someone? Please let us know. Reach out to us. I'm Lindsay with Country Crossroads Counseling. Thank you so much for being here.